circles in a coordinate plane. So we're looking at equations of circles. Okay? So standard form is here. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. R is the radius. So r is the radius of your circle. What is the radius of a circle? Radius means what?
All of it, like from the line to
Kind of. Not quite. That's the diameter. It goes
Radius
all
is
the way
half.
through. Radius is half. So from the edge to the center, or center to edge, however you want to think about it. Okay? So it's it's the distance from the edge to the center. That's what you're looking at for your radius. Okay? Now, when I look at this example, if I look at this distance here, from the center to the edge, how far is that? 3. But in the equation it's 9, because 3 squared is 9. Okay? How can I go in reverse? So if I have 9, how can I figure out the 3, the square root? Okay, so square to square root again, undo each other. So you can square root 9, and that gives me and tells me that that radius is going to be 3. Okay? What happens if my center is not in the center of the graph? So here's my center point. So this center point is 4, 2. Okay, so you can kind of see here HK is that center, just like we talked about HK before. H is the X value, so we're plugging in a 4. K is the Y value, and we're just plugging it in that equation. Again, remember, the original equation here is subtraction. So HK, when we're plugging them in, are the opposite. Okay? So just like before, when we did quadratics, it's going to be the opposite of those values. Okay? Questions there? And then again, if I square root 25, square root of 25 is 5. So this radius from the center is 5. Okay? Questions so far? Alright, so let's, given this information here, we're going to write the equation of a circle given the center and the radius. Okay? So, always starting out with x minus something squared, y minus something squared equals the radius squared. Okay? So again, h and k, those are what's going in my x and y here with my x and y. So x minus x value here is 2, so that's what goes with the x, 2. Y minus y value in this center is 5, so y minus 5. And then the radius, again, this is r squared. So 4 squared gives me what? 4 times 4 is? 16. 16. There's my equation. Okay. So same setup. X minus x squared plus y minus y squared equals r squared. So what am I plugging in here with the x? Negative 2 becomes now x plus 2. What am I plugging in with the y? Negative 3 now becomes y plus 3 squared. And then the radius, again, this is probably one you can't really do in your head. How can I type that in the calculator? Parentheses, make sure you're using parentheses. 4 square root of 3, close parentheses. You may have to put 2 sets of parentheses there. Squared. And what do we get? Something.
Oh yeah, I get 48.
48?
Yeah, I just thought of that on top of my head for real.
Okay. But 16, 4 squared is 16. Square root of 3 squared is 3, so 16 times 3 that we got? 48?
Yeah, I think so. If you think,
Okay, we're going with it. No one else checks it. Alright, let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 again. Again, I would use this setup every time. It gets rid of making mistakes with negatives. So, what's going with my x? 10, so x minus 10. What's going with the y? Negative 9, so y now becomes plus 9. And then r, now look, what do they give us here? They give us the diameter, right? I don't want the diameter, I want the radius. How do I get the radius from the diameter? No?
Split it down.
Cut it in half, right? Diameter goes all the way through. So I just want half, right? So if I divide this by 2, what do I get? R equals 30 divided by 2 is what? 15. And then 15 squared gives me what? Nope. 225. Okay? 225. Remember, we're squaring it, we're not timesing it by 2. Okay, we're squaring it. We're going to cross out number 4. Okay. Let's take a look at number 5. So number 5, they give us a circle. We got to come up with the information though. Okay. So here's my center. What is that center point?
3, 2, negative 2.
What is it? 3, negative 2. Good. So 3, negative 2 is my center. And then what's my radius of this circle? So again, we can just count either straight up, straight down, straight left, or straight right.
Straight right.
What is it? 6? Yes, 6. So 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my distance here is 6. Okay. Now I can plug it in my equation. So I have x minus squared plus y minus squared equals my r squared. So what's going with my x here? 3. What's going with the y? Negative 2, so now it's y plus 2. And then r squared, or 6 squared, is what? 36. There's my equation. Okay? Just putting that, it's the same every time, putting that information in. Okay? So now let's change a little bit. Now we have an equation. Okay? So now we have the equation, and we need to find the center and the radius. Okay? So the center of my circle here center of the circle equals, what is the center point? Negative 6, 4. Good. Remember, it's the opposite. So negative 6, positive 4. And then the radius, how do I find the radius? What undo is a square?
Half of 49.
No, not half. Square root. So square root 49 is 7. So my radius here is 7. So number 7 then. So the center point of the circle, what's my xy for the center? What is it? 9 and negative 3. Good. That's my center point. And then what's the radius? Square root of 27. Now it gives us a decimal. Does anyone know how to simplify that? This is 3 and 9, right? 3 and 3. So remember, so this can kind of pop out of 3. Square root of 3. So 3 square root of 3 is that simplified. Square root of 27 or 3 square root of 3. Okay? Alright. That's equations of a circle.
Thank you.